shooting? Is that just shots being missed, or is there something they're doing that's preventing your shooters from being their best selves?
There aren't any absolutes with that. I think in game three, we didn't really generate enough good looks. Our offense was really, flat. And I thought tonight, I thought we actually had some really good looks. We just missed them. But, that's part of the game, part of the playoffs. Sometimes you don't make shots, but you still have opportunities, to grind out and get a win ugly. We weren't able to do that tonight. We were close. We were banging on the door. I just felt like those last 5 minutes, they had probably a handful of possessions that went all the way down to the final end of the clock and made some big shots where we're defending for, 24 seconds, 23 seconds, 22 seconds, and then they would hit a big one. I thought we were in a decent position to try to turn this into a possession game going down the stretch, even as poorly as we shot. We were just competing and trying to get it in the mud, but they made some big plays down the stretch.
Kyle seemed to be grabbing the extra a few times in the game. How was he feeling physically?
Yeah, we'll just have to get back to Miami and see. He's such a warrior that we'll just have to see. There's nothing right now.
I know to outsiders, they might look at Twain's limited minutes in the series and figure he's a big player, but it seemed like without him tonight, with Bam in foul trouble, with Tuck in foul trouble, how tough was it for you to get bodies out there against Joel and manage that power rotation?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. That potentially obviously could have really helped, but we were still there, to be able to make some plays. We did have to manage through that foul trouble. But that's always going to be, reality against this team. You have to be able to defend and do it with great discipline. And we felt like we had enough, just to turn it into a possession game. What we needed was probably 3 of those key stops at the end of the clock, and then let's see what happens, going down on the other end. I did, yeah. And then obviously right now, you look at the percentage, that's an easy conclusion, but we still had some really good looks, and the guys that got the looks are some of, we have great 3-point shooters on this team. It just seemed like it's kind of flipped, I think it seems like Philly was saying the same thing in 2 games in Miami. We're saying the same thing here. But look, we pride ourselves on being able to find different solutions to win. And this one, we felt like we could have pushed, to be able to get this one in the grind, in the mud. But again, those big threes and big shots they hit down the stretch just didn't allow that.
Obviously, with Joel re-entering the series, it changed the dynamic. Are you feeling you're getting a better grasp on that? He had 15 in the first quarter, and then either whether it's him or you guys slowed him down a little. Is this sort of a process now with Joel back into it, with you adjusting your approach to him?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's competition, so it's a 2-game sample. So it's not like you have, a full sample, but we're talking about, 2 really good teams. This is high level competition. And it's a slim margin for error on both sides. And you just have to make, plays at timely moments. I think for the most part, defensively, we weren't able to really impact them. Certainly not in the first half. They were in a great rhythm, and able to get to whatever they wanted to get to, including their role players. We were able to disrupt that kind of rhythm a little bit more in the second half, but again, those plays at the end of the clock were really crippling.
In terms of the process and fight of it, how did you feel about fronting Embiid specifically and how that went?
It just depends. You have to do it in a lot of different areas. I thought like we did that, as well as you would hope. He's not the easiest guy to be able to try to prevent from catching the ball. There was a lot of the other plays in between. and some of their support players really hurt us. Harden obviously was great in those moments down at the end of the clock. They got contributions from really everywhere across the board that you needed to, and we were unable to prevent that.
I know it came with 2 losses, but what has Jimmy found in these last 2 games, especially those third quarters where it just seems like he's super aggressive?
Jimmy's just an elite competitor, and he knows what's needed, for the team. And we were treading water, and they were starting to pull away a little bit. And he knew they had to be more assertive. He was our best offensive option, to be able to attack in the paint and get us a quality look. I thought we had other good open shots from that. We weren't able to knock those down, but hey, we still want those, our guys letting it fly. I would like to see a few more threes, see if we can generate a few more of those, particularly the way we can shoot the ball. But again, right now, I just need to get to the film and see what's real and what's like emotional.
Even if Devin was available, were you thinking of going small and kind of seeing how?
I mean, that's always a possibility, with us. But Dwayne definitely would have played certainly those minutes with against Embiid. But that's not, the reason. I mean, hopefully, Dwayne will feel better. We still had our opportunities with other guys stepping up with the foul trouble, with all of that. We needed, 3 or 4 real finishing possessions at the end of the clock and to a rebound. And just to see what would happen on the other end.
Robinson, could he help Bam offensively? Just
Could.
With his, and then I guess also how difficult is that sort of offense defense? We want to help this end of the floor without, or but we know that might hurt this end of the floor. How difficult is that?
Yeah, this is what each team has to manage during the playoffs, and we have incredible depth. I feel for our guys that are not necessarily playing because they have every right and opportunity based on the season. We have great depth. That's why I don't want to come to any conclusions right now, particularly, just 20 minutes after the game where it's emotional, and it's always easier to see oh, we shot that percentage from 3. I just want to see what's real and what's, not. I thought we still had great quality looks. And we're a great 3-point shooting team. We just weren't able to knock those down. I think the bigger story was, not being able to defend them, disrupt them, keep them off the free throw line at key moments. I think our offense probably would have been good enough to give ourselves a real good chance, even the way we're shooting from 3. But we weren't able to get the kind of consistent defensive stops that we're accustomed to.
So getting back to Jimmy for a second, you've obviously seen him do this at the highest level. How concerned are you though that there's too much pressure on him right now offensively?
You know how fast that can change, though. All of a sudden, if we have so many ignitable guys. You mentioned Duncan, but the same thing with Max, the same thing with Tyler, Gabe. They see a couple go down, that can turn into 4, 5, 6, like that. And that's what I want our guys thinking about. I want them being gunslingers, coming out firing, and us playing the right way, the way we're used to doing it. But that ignitability, that can change in a hurry.
All right.
Okay, thank you. No.